What is up, you guys? Welcome back to yet another video. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while, but I'm back. I'm here. I'm ready for trade deadline madness. First, Jeff Passan tweeted out today that the Angels are acquiring right-handed reliever Luis Garcia from the Nationals. As part of the deal, Andrew Chafin is also West Coast bound. Left-hander Jake Elder is one of the players heading back to the Nationals in this deal. Austin Slater from the White Sox, he was traded to the Yankees for a minor leaguer that is yet to be named, according to Fox Sports. Now, here's not a trade deal, but a little bit of a scary news story for the Dodgers. Yoshinobu Yamamoto was almost a victim of a home robbery, yes. Yamamoto's home was a target of a burglary attempt on Wednesday morning, TMZ Sports has learned. Sources tell us that around 5 a.m., 3 people were seen on surveillance video at the Dodgers Stars LA area home, shattering a glass door and several windows. Fortunately for the Cy Young candidate, we're told the thieves did not gain access to his place, scattering once 911 was called by private security. There's a picture of his home right there, as you can see. Our sources say that the suspects were long gone by the time police officers arrived on the scene, and an investigation into the matter is ongoing. So, scary stuff there for Yamamoto. I believe they're out in Cincinnati playing the Reds right now. So, yeah, that's just kind of bizarre story. I feel like there's another Dodger who got his home burglarized this year. I just can't remember. I'll have to look it up and throw it on the screen once I edit this video. But yeah, it's scary stuff here. A lot of Dodgers getting their homes vandalized and getting robbed, and it's just weird. It always happens in LA. I don't know what it is, but it's an LA thing, and it's always the LA Stars. It's not like someone who lives in California that's plays for, like, I don't know, a non-Los Angeles or California team. It's always LA Dodgers, Rams, Lakers. It's weird. It's weird stuff out there. But anyways, according to Jeff Passan, the Cincinnati Reds are acquiring third baseman Ke'Bryan Hayes in a trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates, sources tell ESPN. Now, Hayes, he's among one of the best defensive third basemen in MLB this season, and interestingly enough, he has 5 years of club control beyond this season. So that means the Reds, if they hang on to him, can have them in their grasp through 2030. So that's a long time for Ke'Bryan Hayes. Now, Ken Rosenthal tweets out that in return, the Pirates are getting Sammy Saturfra, hopefully I'm saying that right, and Taylor Rogers. Now, if you look at Ke'Bryan Hayes right here, look at the numbers. Offensively, you know, not that great. You know, he's batting .236, 2 bombs, 36 RBIs, 10 stolen bases. Just not great offensive production from Ke'Bryan Hayes, but that's not what he's known for. He's known for his defensive prowess at third base. Now, let's just look at the current Reds third base options. Noel Marte, he started 38 games. He has a .936 fielding percentage. So again, you know, the errors, you know, they're 5 errors. 5 errors is 5 errors. He turned 4 double plays at that position. If you look at Ke'Bryan Hayes' stats, well, he's made 4 errors at that position, but he started in over 100 games, started 97, played over 100 games at that position. So obviously, much more experience at third base, and that's what you want if you're Cincinnati. A little more, you know, familiar with the position, more comfortable. You know, he's better defensively. If you look at the metrics, right? Since 2021, Hayes leads all MLB third basemen in defensive runs saved with 87. That's right in front of new Yankee Ryan McMahon. So it's an interesting trade by the Reds to get a Ke'Bryan Hayes. You're thinking, oh, well, you know, it's a nice buy. The Reds think maybe they have a shot at the wild card. Who knows? But again, if you look at it, it's not like a true buy for the Reds. It could be a sneaky sell because the minor leaguer they gave up in this deal, Sammy Saturfra, is actually making more money than Ke'Bryan Hayes is right now while he's playing in the majors. So it could be a bit of a salary dump type of move for the Reds, which is what you expect from small market teams. But again, that's just an interesting note that I found out by researching this deal. Now, moving on, the Mets have received Tyler Rogers from the Giants. This is according to Ken Rosenthal. He says Mets acquiring right-handed pitcher Tyler Rogers from the Giants, sources tell The Athletic. They paid a very hefty price for Tyler Rogers, as right-hander Jose Butto and outfielder Drew Gilbert and right-handed pitcher Blaine Tidwell are headed to San Francisco in exchange for Rogers. Now, Jose Butto, look, has a 3.64 ERA in 47 innings pitched, 41 strikeouts with a whip of 1.38. He's been a significant part of that Mets bullpen this year. It's a little bit surprising. He was surprised. There was, I think, some video of him kind of being a little shocked that he got dealt today when they were playing in San Diego. So that's a little bit surprising. But now look at the prospects here. Drew Gilbert, he was originally drafted in the first round, 28th overall by the Astros in 2022. Why is it significant? Well, he was in the deal when the Mets traded Justin Verlander back to the Houston Astros at the 2023 deadline. So he was a guy who was highly coveted out of Tennessee, and this year he's played in 88 games. He has 14 home runs, 53 RBIs. He's walked 44 times. That's a lot, actually. Wow. He has 329 at-bats. That's him this year overall. If you look at the different levels he was in High A this season, where he had 2 home runs, only played in 6 games, but in 82 games in AAA, he's hit 12 bombs and drove in 47 RBIs in 305 at-bats this season. So that's an interesting, line for him. He's doing pretty good in AAA this season, so maybe he comes up for the Giants, this year. He is, what is he? He's got to be I think he's 24 years old, so he's a little bit older for a prospect. So he might come up this season for the Giants if they continue to flounder here late in the year. Now, let's look at Blade Tillwell. This season at Syracuse, he's 6-4, has a 4.10 ERA in 14 games started, 17 games total. He's pitched nearly 80 innings this season for Syracuse. So it's an interesting trade. It's a lot of pitchers given up. I think this guy from the JV deal in Drew Gilbert could be an interesting pickup for the Giants here. I'm intrigued by that one, but he is a little bit older, so I have to say. Now let's look at Tyler Rogers here, the big fish in this deal. Again, 34 years old, very, very old. However, 1.80 ERA, 50 innings, 38 strikeouts. I believe that leads the Giants. So that's some great stats from the near 35-year-old. I mean, my God, that's fantastic right there. So, I mean, again, 34, but hey, I mean, he's pitching in a pitcher's ballpark in San Fran, but still quite impressive when you're on a struggling team and you're playing in San Francisco, which, can or cannot always be pitcher friendly. Now, topic number 5 here is Caleb Ferguson has been traded to the Mariners. He came over from the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Pirates got back pitcher Jeter Martinez, according to Jeff Passan. Now, Phillies, they acquired Jhoan Duran from the Twins. Duran was probably the second most coveted closer or just relief pitcher this market, of course, now being number 1 since Emmanuel Clase got into some gambling shenanigans with the Guardians. But again, Jhoan Duran, he's going to the Phillies, and he will help out that bullpen. I mean, the bullpen in Philadelphia needs help desperately if they have a shot at winning a World Series. I know from experience, Tigers did not have a bullpen in 2012, lost to the Giants. Big reason why. Who was the GM then? Dave Dombrowski. So that's just interesting. And by the way, Eduardo Tate and Mick Abel are going back to the Twins for Jhoan Duran, according to Buster Only. Topic number 7 is the Mets acquire Ryan Helsley from the St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah, the Mets are bolstering up that bullpen to get a lot of support for Diaz in the late innings. So looks like they have their 7th, 8th, and 9th guy all lined up here with the addition of Helsley as well. The Cardinals are receiving shortstop Jesus Baez, right-hander Nate Dom, and right-hander Frank Astalis Stahls? Yeah, whatever. From the Mets for Ryan Helsley, sources tell ESPN. The Mets have used 6 players today to get 2 high leverage relievers to put in front of Diaz. So, again, Mets are not messing around with that bullpen. So it's good to see that they are addressing the bigger issue here for their club. Now here's the big one. Eugenio Suarez has been indeed traded back to the Seattle Mariners. According to Jeff Passan's is breaking, the Seattle Mariners are in agreement on a deal to acquire third baseman Eugenio Suarez from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Sources tell ESPN the trade is pending a medical review. Rosenthal shed some detail on the situation by saying Mariners in agreement to acquire third baseman Eugenio Suarez from the Diamondbacks for first baseman Tyler Locklear, right-handed pitcher Hunter Creighton, and right-handed pitcher Juan Burgos. Still details to be finalized. First was agreement was Jeff Passan. That's a big one, man. That's a very, very big move. Eugenio Suarez, 50 home run guy. He's at 36 home runs, 87 RBIs, batting .248 with an .896 OPS. Just great stuff for Eugenio Suarez offensively. Again, he's going back to a team he was with from 2022 to 2023. So the highest home run total he hit with Seattle was 31. Again, he almost hit near 50 in 2019 with the Reds. So again, he's kind of going back to a familiar team and organization and situation. So, look, I want the Tigers to get him. D-backs are asking a lot, rightfully so. But the Tigers weren't going to do that, which I'm glad that I give up, Kevin McGonigal or a guy like Max Clark for a guy like Eugenio Suarez. That's just my personal opinion on that one. The Cubs have landed Mike Soroka. Mike Soroka, that's right, from the Nationals. He's 3-8, has a 4.87 ERA in 16 starts, but the key with him, according to Jesse Rogers, is his expected stats are much better than his actual ones, starting with his expected ERA, which is 3.32. So it looks like the Cubs are going to give Mike Soroka a shot with a winning ball club and see if he pitches in the bullpen for them down the stretch here in the dog days of summer and beyond. So that is it for now. Please like, please comment, subscribe. I appreciate it. Stay tuned for updates. Turn on the post notifications. I'll be uploading all day tonight and tomorrow pre the 6 p.m. trade deadline. And as always, I'll catch you later.